Wife of the Senate President, Unoma Akpabio, has accused Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan of maligning her husband following sexual allegations made by the senator representing Kogi Central.
This particular issue, the way Senator Natasha Akpoti, I was the first person that defended her when, in quote, she claimed that she was harassed in Kogi State.
The day in question, I was not in the Senate. I was in NMPC hospital.
I'm going to speak as a woman that works or has ever worked in a male-dominated space. And I think one thing that the senator said that we must all, or every woman that has listened to that interview, felt to be true deep down in her bones.
So I really don't understand where this is coming from. And I believe that for somebody to make such an allegation, there must be a discussion at home.
Not every woman who should be where they are. She's forgotten that Senator Natasha, what has she had? What, 3, probably 12 years of trying, being abused, being maligned in Kogi, having the road to our constituency.
Here is Senator Natasha Akpoti accusing Senate President Godswill Akpabio of harassment.
I said she was wrong, but she must apologize to. She must apologize.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Plan B TV News. Now, we get news. This is not a gist. We have a news for you guys. As it's trending, how many of you have heard the gist between Senator Natasha and the Senate President Akpabio? The Senate President Akpabio's wife have came out to defend her husband, saying, "Oh, Senator Natasha, now you be the seduce my husband. You are lying. I know my husband is a man of notable character. How dare you?" She decided to say all kinds of manner of things to accuse Senator Natasha in defense of her husband. The story long and the gist is sweet, and I want you guys to watch how she trolled Senator Natasha on Arise TV News. We'll be right back to do some messages to it.
Wife of the Senate President, Unoma Akpabio, has accused Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan of maligning her husband following sexual allegations made by the senator representing Kogi Central. Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan, a member of the opposition People's Democratic Party, during an interview on the Arise Morning Show, accused the Senate President of making inappropriate advances at her. But reacting to the interview, Mrs. Akpabio accused the senator of lying and creating content for personal gains. She described her husband as a disciplined and jovial person who is often misinterpreted.
Unfortunate accusation. I'll rather call it unfortunate. It's very demeaning because that is a family. We knew the husband before the husband married her. We've always known the man. They were very good friends, or they are still very good friends. So I really don't understand where this is coming from. And I believe that for somebody to go and make such an allegation, there must be a discussion at home. There must have been a sanction or an approval. Or you're going to say this, go ahead and say it. And if the approval has come from the husband, our friend, I believe that he would have spoken to me because we are close. And then if the wife had complained about such a thing and he still comes and he's normal, there is no man you will tell, that the wife will tell, your friend harassed me. I know how you men behave, that will not frown. First of all, the attitude towards the person will change. But this attitude never changed. And if you're talking about the house, we don't have any house in Ikorebene. Ikorebene is a local government. We are from a Senudim local government. Our country home is in a Senudim, in Okana. And I didn't hear anything about Okana. We have a beautiful home in Okana. If you're talking about Uyo, house in Uyo, I'm always there. I own a school. I'm always in my school. And when I finish at the school, I go home. So the home you are talking about, I'm always there. The Senate President is a very, very responsible man and disciplined. As a governor, the number of women we had then in government, I don't think any government has had that number of women. But in Akwa Ibom, when he was a governor, a lot of women were involved in governance. And none of them, not one, ever said something like this. In the past, we've allowed people to get away with a lot of things. And he will always tell me, if you can't stand the heat, leave the kitchen. I'm here to serve my people. They will throw mud at me. I said, but this mud is becoming too much. Why can't you do something? So I'm now the one going for a legal address.
Reacting to all of this, in defense of the Senate President, the human rights activist, Opara, decided to defend the Senate President of his action against the actions of Senator Natasha on how she reacted the very previous day at the actions that triggers these whole issues and saga that are dragging the Senate President or disrupting the Senate entirely. I want you guys to say what the human rights activist Opara said in none of this. We'll be right back.
I'm not here to defend anybody.
I'm just asking.
Yes, I'm here to face the fact as it is. In the first instance, this particular issue, the way Senator Natasha Akpoti, I was the first person that defended her when, in quote, she claimed that she was harassed in Kogi State when she was running for, I think that was governor a few years ago. And the way she was assaulted, I condemned that. You don't do that. On this particular issue, what gave rise to that? You have a rule. Just like our rule. We have 2024, 2025 FCT High Court rules. It will take effect from March. We are from NBA meeting. My chairman, NBA chairman, invited somebody to come and train us with the new innovation about that rules. This is the rule guiding the court. What are the rules said? If you are coming, you're expected to wear a wig and gown. There are some rules, including the legal practitioners at our ethics. Now, in the Senate, you have a rule. The rule said, if you have issue, look at the way you address it. You came into the Senate and discovered that they have changed your seat. You want to make a point. You cannot channel your good case through a wrong means. You lose it. First of all, you go to that seat. Then when you now go to that seat, you now invoke that other 10, which you are, because that other 10 he was quoting that day. You can only invoke it when you are in the right place. I have a case in court. I must be in court. When they said, the judge said that lawyers are going to sit in this place, you first of all go to that place and put appearance. When you put appearance, you now ask my Lord, why? The law said that I should sit in this place. Why do you change me here? You must first of all come in first. He was not in the Senate as far as that proceedings is concerned. You are in another person's seat. And the rule said for you to talk, you must be in your seat. She was quoting order 10. Order 10, you can only quote order 10 when you exercise your right under order 6. Being in that place, they say that you should be. Remember that the order 6 has given the Senate President power to change seat. So, right. So that one is on that. Then on the issue of making sexual advances. In fact, I watched that program in the morning, and I was aback. I said, "What? An adult, a senator, somebody's wife, somebody's mother, a married man, harass you sexually in the presence of your husband, and the husband called you. I heard what this man said. What happened? You denied."
Well, she didn't tell.
Wait.
Not that she denied. She didn't tell the husband.
She said that you can play this. She said that I watched her religiously. She said that she gave her husband another story. You can play that distance. Mm-hmm. Now, when somebody makes such an allegation, a Senate president, and you uphold the rule of law and to speak the truth at all times, you did not raise it.
I'm so sorry.
Excuse me, I'm coming. Don't worry, we have your time. You did not raise it. Personally, I may be wrong.
I think I'm going to just speak because I'm not Senator Natasha's representative, but I'm going to speak as a woman that works or has ever worked in a male-dominated space. And I think one thing that the senator said that we must all, or every woman that has listened to that interview, felt to be true deep down in her bones, is that it's just like a case of a university lecturer failing you simply because you refuse to sleep with him. When women talk about cases of sexual harassment, they always say, keep quiet, don't speak about it. No, it's because of what you're wearing. It's because of you invited it. There's an invitation to treat. Simply by existing, we make women feel like they're inviting people to come and sexually harass them. And this is the culture in which Nigerian women have always existed. Have people found ways to exist in spite of this culture? Yes. But are we saying that it is all right, it is right? Absolutely not. So when people are speaking up against it, at whatever time we decide to speak up against it, I think it's only important, it's only fair that we listen to them.
Yeah, but then,
so let me speak about the
sit.
Let me speak about the sit. I'm so sorry. Okay. Let me speak about the sit. Rosa Parks, the person that we celebrate today in America, looked at the history of, subjugation of black people, and she refused to get up from her sit. I'm not trying to equate Natasha with Rosa Parks, but was saying that because she graciously came to give an interview here, and to give you context as to why she felt the way that she was being subjugated, because there was a history between her and the Senate president. And she alleges that the Senate president said, if you take care of me, you would have a smooth ride. She alleges that if you take care of me, you would have a smooth ride. Yes, she alleges, but it's not only her voice that we've heard about an allegation, about the Senate president sexually harassing a woman.
That doesn't still mean that she was right.
Miss Joy Nunez, 2020 NDDC, in 2020, also accused the Senate president of, sexually harassing her. So you look at, and she said she even slapped him. So you look at all of these instances, and you wonder how he became a Senate president in the first place, because you need character to be able to be there.
On the other hand, Arise TV News decided to also react on their own in order to give their own opinion regarding to what Senator Natasha said. Remember, we make a previous video on how Senator Natasha came on Arise News to accuse the Senate president of trying to doke her or making life unbearable for her in the chamber because she refused to doke him. A lot of you watched the previous video. If you have not watched it, please go and watch it before you watch this one so that you understand where this whole story is coming from. However, the Arise News decided to also react or in defense of the Senator Natasha. What if she is saying the truth? And I want you guys to watch how the Arise TV News may break down in all of this. We'll be right back.
Here is Senator Natasha Akpoti accusing Senate President Godswill Akpabio of harassment.
Many people do not know what I'm about to say, but I'm going to speak my own truth. And the Senate President is allowed to counter that. We're in his house in the Kotekpene. Then we all moved to his house in Uyo, which was about 8 p.m. And he held my hand and said he wanted to show me around his house. My husband was walking behind us, just 3 of us. We're walking around from room to room. And then he got to this particular sitting room and he said, "Do you like my house?" I said, "Of course, sir. Every room, beautiful, nice interior, quality taste." He said, "Now that you're a senator, I'm going to create a time for us to come spend quality moments here. You will enjoy it." At that point, I just pulled away and I was like, I don't really understand what exactly that meant. He then said, "Natasha, I'm the chief presiding officer of the Senate. You can enjoy a whole lot if you take care of me and make me happy." At that point, I said, "Sir, I'll pretend that I didn't hear this." He said, "Well, the ball is in your court."
All right. My essay. I mean, that was quite intense. And it's just really heartbreaking to hear such, accusation made on, the number 3 man in Nigeria. I mean, this is not the first time we're hearing, these sort of accusations of harassment. And I'm glad Natasha Akpoti, has given him the floor to respond because, again, it's a huge, huge allegation.
Let me say, first of all, absolutely spot on that the Senate President does, and I don't think he should send, this is bigger than sending people to come and speak on his behalf. I think he does have a duty to Nigerians whom he served and who have entrusted their votes in him, especially his senatorial district, to come out and really address, because it's now becoming a bit too much. Yes. I have a headline in front of me from 2020, July 13, 2020, by The Cable, which says, I slapped Akpabio for sexually harassing me, sex ex-NDDC MD, Joy Nuniem. Now, this is not the first time a high-ranking woman has come out to make such an allegation. It's still an allegation, and of course, he's innocent until proven otherwise. Now, when we talk about this, let me talk about the bigger issue around sexual harassment and victimization. We often talk about having more women in politics, women's voices being heard. But how can you welcome women into a toxic environment if they feel that if they are there, what they would have to be victimized, sexualized, as we saw in that statement by Inform Patrick. Their intelligence will be questioned. Whenever they rise to any height, it will be said it's because they slept their way through it. You see an appointment, you see a beautiful woman, you're saying, oh, she must have done something. These are the sort of things that validate those rumors and those unfortunate comments like that. We also had the APC woman leader come, and I thought her statements were a bit disappointing, because when you're talking about women's rights and protecting women, the first thing you want to do to a woman who makes such a grave allegation is to listen and then ask that the person who has been accused comes out to defend himself, especially when it's not the first time. We need to protect our women. We need to protect our young girls. And I say this because it happens in institutions. Remember the sex for grades scandal that broke out, that changed policy in university? Women are, let me speak now as a woman. Women face this on a daily basis. And oftentimes when we are bold enough to come out to speak about this, we are accused of sensationalization or intimidation, blackmail. The first thing a woman wants is for her voice to be heard so that other women who face this discrimination and victimization can come out to also speak as well. You want more women in politics, make it safe for them to be in politics. But Senator Akpabio has a right to come out and defend himself.
Senator Akpabio has a right absolutely to come and defend himself. And very well said, Ayo, because this is what we were talking about, during the course of our interview about this crisis rocking the House. I mean, we've called for legislation to back women. And, there were so many comments that were made in the interview, like, the princess of the Senate, and, things like the nightclub incident. Those are not the kind of things that we need to hear right now. I mean, we need some more answers, and we hope we get a robust response from the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio.
Well, for me, in every lies, there are elements of truth. After the disputes that happened in the Senate House between Senator Natasha and the Senate President, she was suspended. The Brekete family, the ordinary president, decided to troop in his own opinion and said, oh, this shouldn't have been done. She's a woman and that. Then the Senate decided to summon the ordinary president, the Brekete family, to panel for his statement. And this is what he has to say.
Moving on now, the Nigerian Senate has invited Ahmed Issa, popularly known as the Ordinary President and host of the Brekete Family Show, to appear before lawmakers. Now, the summon is reportedly linked to a recent live broadcast of his show where Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan aired her grievances against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Issa, during the video, called both senators to address the controversy, while Natasha Uduaghan responded and accused the Senate leadership of victimization. Senator Akpabio declined the call 3 times. Well, following this summons by the Senate, the ordinary president has taken a different stance. Look at this.
See where I said she was wrong. Did you see that? But she must apologize too. She must apologize. She must apologize. Every reaction has an action that triggered the reaction.
Which we don't know.
So as we don't know waiting be the action will trigger the reaction. Waiting with the see now her reaction. And on the surface here, everybody don't see say she did wrong by her outburst. She go apologize.
Now, in a video before this, Ahmed Issa was saying that Nigerians stand behind Natasha and that they were going to make sure that she was apologized to by the Senate president. And so this juxtaposition is clearly a backtrack. But with the Brekete family show widely regarded as a platform for the common man, of course, many Nigerians are now questioning if this Senate invitation is an attempt to silence him or if there are deeper political tensions at play. Because why is he backtracking? I'm going to take some social media commentary. I absolutely love to hear what you guys have to say. Senator Shehu Sani weighed in on this. He says, inviting Ahmed Issa, the CEO of Brekete Radio, to the Senate is unnecessary and demeaning. Thank you, sir. Eukarya says, lol, LOL. So the masses have turned against her now. How did he change his stance so quickly? Only in Nigeria do the oppressed end up apologizing to their oppressors. And La Majora says, ordinary president no go fold care. Ordinary president now stutters. Nigeria is a gang up. You are on top. The fact that you are on top is that those who want you to do away with your platform have not had time yet or thought for you. Once you trigger their interest, they must either make you fold or make you go. I'm going to take one last tweet. Now, Morola says, needless to say, it shows you the priority of our leaders. If a Senate president is so petty, I wonder what they discuss in the Senate chambers. This is all extremely interesting. I find it very interesting that Ahmed Issa put the two lawmakers on the spot like that, and Senator Godswill Akpabio not answering the call. He's a very, very busy man. I don't think that speaks to his credibility in this situation.
But with the ordinary president, I think that we need to respect people who occupy certain offices, and I disagree with the fact that if the Senate president did not pick his call, it's a question on his integrity. I want to know what transpired behind the scene. Did he, the ordinary president, tell the third citizen of this country that he was going to call him on his show, or he just decided to pick his phone and call him? The Senate president has an office we must respect. Yes, there was an issue. I do not like the way the matter went on at the floor of the Senate, but we must respect these people and their offices. Yes, they have a responsibility to answer us when we call on them, but you must also follow protocol and respect their office. Did he speak with him before then to know if he's available to join in on the conversation? That's a question I'd like to know answered. And then if the Senate president had agreed and then did not pick his call, then I can say it's a question on his integrity. But
yeah, we're actually out of time, but let me just quickly speak to the ordinary president. I feel if it was me, if I were the one, I would consider it an infra dig. Not talk about the third person, I mean the third personality of this country, the Senate president. You can't just call people, you can't batch into their privacy and just call them and expect them to now give you a matter that is of national interest. Yes, you represent the people, you do. I love the daring attitude, the confidence and everything, but then I consider it complete demeaning to the persons of Natasha and that of the Senate president. So you should honor their invitation and explain better. But I disagree with Senator Shehu Sani on this.
All right, we'll have to leave the conversation here. Olamide, thank you for bringing us all of
You're
those
welcome.
Stories. This is where we draw the curtains.
However, they have been trying to cover up this track. They have been trying to cover or silence everybody that want to voice out to support in solidarity with Senator Natasha over the heat treatment that we meted on her, or how they have been trying to dehumanize her in the Senate House. Now, the Senate himself decided to say that they requested for an apology, and they have been going beyond every cost to make sure that they silence Senator Natasha for not speaking out. For example, paying some women to defend the Senate president.
The day in question, I was not in the Senate. I was in NMPC hospital. When I came out of the hospital, my driver said to me, "Madam, there's wahala in the Senate." I said, "What about?" He didn't tell me. He just said Senator Natasha. As soon as I heard her name, as I always do with everything that concerns her, I promptly called her. I said, "Natasha, what's going on?" He said, he started to try to explain about seating. He had not given me the proper explanation. I had not been given the opportunity to respond. when she said to me, I'll call you back, I'll call you back. Till today, Senator Natasha has not called me back. I have a smartphone. Before I called Senator Natasha's husband, I had called Senator Natasha twice without response. Then I called him to say, I've called her twice, she's not answering me. He said, oh, she went to Singapore. Maybe that's why. And then I said to him, this is not the way this should be handled. Now, let's go on to other things. The reason we've heard it said everywhere that the 3 women in the Senate have been silent. Yes, because silence is golden, especially when one of us is not following the rules. And as women, we did not want to come out publicly to say anything negative about her. And we were hoping all of this will blow over, as a lot of things do. Now, the truth of the matter is, yes, the Senate is not gender friendly, but it has been improving much better than when we first entered the Senate, I must say. And the truth of the matter is, when we make a fuss and we draw the attention of the Senate president, he does correct it. Truly, the Senate can do better than it's doing, but there's hardly anything that's been done to us that's not done to other men. It is more appropriate to say that the Senate is not opposition friendly. Now, the Senate leadership may not be gender friendly, but I must say the majority of the senators, they are very kind and they are conciliatory to us. They look out for the fact that women, some of them have been there before. They guide us on, do it like this, do it that way. And slowly, even I can say, without anybody repudiating that fact, that I am the singular senator that fights the Senate president the most. But I have learned to do it. If it arises on plenary, I deal with it there, especially when it's on issues to do with my constituency. When it's on other issues of privileges, I go and meet him when all the senators are in the dining room, and I fight with him there and get the support of other senators. Senate is a place where the majority takes the day. So then also I want to say something. Us women in the Senate, in fact, to be honest, Senator Natasha has gotten the most privilege of all the 4 of us.
The fact that she did not say all this in the beginning does not make it a lie. A lot of people might have just said, oh, she's trying to accuse the Senate president. Maybe, I don't know. But the fact remains, what if she's telling the truth? Remember, she is not the first person. She's not the first person to accuse the Senate president of sexual harassment. And because the Senate president is a notable man, a man of magnitude, a lot of people might not believe. But what if it's true?
And you are the hero. You were the hero of yesterday, if I may just start with that, because your response, your retort to Senator Ireti Kingigbe, that it's about seats, and she tried to minimize what was clearly about the visibility of women, for women at the assembly. That's why where they sit matters, because you've just talked about how there isn't enough women in our democracy, in our political landscape. We talk about this all the time. We talk about the UN Charter. We talk about how Nigeria is signed on to it. And then the only 4 women that you have, we don't see them. So yes, it's not just a case of seats, it's about visibility. And it is rather unfortunate that we have a senator such as Senator Ireti Kingigbe. It's sad that she bears my name, actually, but that's a whole different story altogether. But it's sad that not only was she incoherent yesterday, but she doesn't understand the importance, the critical importance of being seen as a woman. So, which then takes you on to that whole thing where it's not every woman who should be where they are. She's forgotten that Senator Natasha, what has she had? What, 3, probably 12 years of trying, being abused, being maligned in Kogi, having the road to our constituency dug up by the former Governor Yahaya Bello. She's had threats to her life. Yet this woman did not give up. She was determined, she was focused, she was undeterred, and she continued and continued. She persevered until she got there. It is sad that somebody like Senator Reti Kingigbe, who clearly only just got there like that, doesn't appreciate the struggle of her colleague. But what's even worse, and this is on a personal level, is the infantilization. We do this in Nigeria. We call, they'll call the leaders, he's the father of the nation. Akpabi is the father. Well, no, I know who my father is. I'm sure you know who your father is. The president is my president. He is not my father. The president is responsible for the nation. He is not the father of the nation. That is how we constantly, project the powers that we have as citizens onto leaders who are working for us. But sadly, Senator Reti again was so unintelligent yesterday that she kept referring and infantilizing Senator Natasha Akpoti as my daughter. She's my daughter. No, she is not. She is your colleague. You are both senators, albeit, yes, you're older than her. And yes, we do have a culture. We have a culture that's in any part of the world. And it's not just Nigeria. You respect your elders. I worked with people. I have managed people.
You might not understand that a leader who could go beyond harassing female for sexual benefit or whatsoever could also go early lengths to put your country in jeopardies. And that is the only thing that have been going on in Nigeria, because everybody is just, I'm not saying they are all there for personal gain, but you know how this nation has been ruled over this period of time since these people took over power. Now, they went beyond every cost, every imagination to organize a female protest against Senator Natasha in order to silence her. Me personally, I would say that this protest was sponsored. These are market women. They don't even know what is the meaning and the effect of the Senate president. Who is Senator Natasha? Not all these people, or even 100% of these people, I'm not saying 99%, 100% of these people knows Senator Natasha, or watched the news or knows what is happening, but they are just in the street after getting paid. The same way they mobilize people during election. And it pains me so much that some people will just stick so low to come out in the streets and behave like this. We're talking about women who's supposed to support women. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. So I want to leave you guys with the remaining of this video. And I want you guys to tell me in the comment section, what are your thoughts about this whole case? Who do you stand for? Is it for justice? Is it Senator Natasha? Is it Senator Akpabio? Do you just want everybody to sweep this case under carpet because of national embarrassment sake? Oh, I don't want you to disgrace our Senate president in the world. The last time the Nigerian soldiers misbehaved, the Canada embassy denied them visa. A lot of you know how this whole case have been playing in Nigeria since the era of Donald Trump. Nigeria is facing a lot in the international body. But I will still have to raise this case here. Let our leaders rectify their home and stop going after people that are speaking out the truth. You might not believe her today, and you might not believe the next person today, but when it happened to you, nobody else will also believe. But I would say this is a wake-up call for every Nigerian to know that your Senate president allegedly is a woman harasser and somebody that could demand a married woman for knacking in order to have a peaceful seat in the chamber. May I rest my case, and I'll be waiting for you guys in the comment section while I leave you with the rest video. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so. If you do, please turn on your notification bell so that you wouldn't miss out our future uploads. Above all, please like our video, comment your thoughts about this video you just watched so that we all will rub minds together in the comment section, and share this video to your platform, share it to your Telegram, WhatsApp status, and anywhere people might be interested to watch it. If there is any other updates, definitely I will be right here. I'll be right here to give you the latest updates. Until then, please just stay tuned and God bless you. Peace out.
Natasha, go and apologize to Councillor Fabio. Natasha! Show some respect. We don't agree. Hey, Natasha, hey. Oh, Natasha, oh. We don't agree. Natasha, we don't agree. This one is too much. We don't agree. See the president alone. We don't agree. Natasha, our respect. We are the Nigerian women. We are meant to respect our husbands. Natasha, go and apologize to Councillor Fabio. Natasha! We don't agree! This is too much! We don't agree! Our son is so important to us. Yes. If she always disrespect her husband, we should not disrespect our son. Yes. Because our son is the one God of anointed down for you. Our son is so important to us. Yes. So we're out there demonstrating, telling Natasha to leave our son alone. Yes. Enough of all this mess. We are telling her that whenever she tries again, the women will go on their knees and they will pray and the heaven will arise against her. We should stop messing our son. Our son was well trained in the ways of the Lord. He does not voice, he does not beat women, he does not disrespect women. Women are so good. Women of our Bible are saying that Natasha, stop disrespecting our husband. The women are saying enough is enough. He's so important to us. He's a precious son. He's a gold. He's a precious son to our Bible. He's a precious son to the women of Natasha! Utuwa pa